91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. You are tuned into LocalMotion. I'm your host, Rita Ryan, here each and every Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. This show is all about music and the arts in the Hudson Valley. Please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR, as well as the Facebook page by the same name. We just heard music from Clem Snide and Scott Avid. This was an album that was live from Just Beyond, and we heard Forever Just Beyond. Those two will be part of the Woodstock Film Festival next Thursday, the 29th of September. They'll be performing after a screening at Levon Helm Studios in Woodstock, New York. And I am beyond thrilled to have on the line with us today, let's see if she's there, Meira. Meira?
Yeah.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Are you not hearing me?
I am now. Yes, I am now. Yes. Good. Yeah, I'd like to do just a brief introduction here to the listeners, if I may, and start off by saying Meira Blaustein is co-founder, executive, and artistic director of Woodstock Film Festival. The 23rd annual Woodstock Film Festival returns from September 28th through October 2nd. For the complete lineup and to purchase tickets, you can visit the website at woodstockfilmfestival.org. And with that, a warm welcome to you, Meira, to LocalMotion.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here, Rita.
Yeah, thank you. Your film festival, 49 feature films, 98 shorts. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It's quite a bit.
Yeah, it is quite a bit. I'd like to start, though, with a little bit of your background and how you fell in love with movies. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have to go way back.
We have time. Let's do it.
I think I fell in love with good movies, I should say, when I was about 16. I discovered my local cinematheque where I grew up and started going to every day, basically, and saw 2 movies each night, and they were all these great European art house type films, and completely fell in love, and I knew then already that my world will be film. It took me a while to get to it. I went a few directions before I found film as my vocation, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But once I moved to San Francisco and went to school at the San Francisco Art Institute, I started with photography, and then for a project there, I ended up making a film and completely fell in love with the filmmaking process. And that was the end of that, and I continued studying film. And once I moved to New York City, I also became very exposed to film festivals and even interned at the New York Film Festival when I was young, and wanted to start my own festival back when I was quite young, early 20s, and that didn't happen though in Manhattan, but it happened a few years after. There were a few twists and turns around the way, just like, because life
happens.
Various ways.
Yes.
Yeah, life just happens. But then I worked for another couple of other local film festivals before Woodstock, and when I was working there, I just felt a growing need urge to start my own festival, thinking that I could do something really good and better than what I was doing at the time, and not having a clue, of course, how hard it will be. That's the very short form of the history of Meira and film.
Now, when you did the first Woodstock Film Festival, how many feature films did you have then?
I think we had 75 films altogether that they were there were features and shorts. but I think altogether we showed 75 films, but there were probably out of, like 200 submissions. I mean, the ratio was not what it is today.
Right.
And it was just the most exciting thing.
Oh.
And the most wonderful thing, it was also the scariest thing, because there was zero money.
Right.
And they really knew what they were doing. So
right. Well, Meira, you've come a long way, baby, because you're on 23 now, and we're starting a week from today. And this festival is just one of the, and I am not kidding when I say one of the highlights of my year. Because there's, as much as I love music, I love films, and the films that are and Woodstock are just, I mean, first of all, you're driving from one theater to the other. You can see 3 to 4 films a day, and you are supporting this amazing local economy that we have here. And the films that you've chosen, I've never seen a bad film. I've never walked out of there and say, that one's questionable. And I think me as an audience member, what I appreciate the most is you're seeing a film, and it's an independent film, but you're also many times getting Q&A afterwards. Tell us about that, if you would, please.
About the Q&A?
Yeah.
I would say that at least 80% of the films at the festival this year have the filmmakers in attendance, and usually they come in with an entourage of not just the director, but the producer and the actor and various other crew members. So one of the wonderful things about seeing a film at the film festival is that you can not only just see a film that more often than not you will not be able to see otherwise, but you will also get to meet the filmmaker and listen to their insights of behind the scenes, the motivation behind making the film, the process of making the film, and it's just their thoughts, their thinking about it, and it just gives you such an insight into filmmaking and into the particular films that you are seeing at the time. So it's rare. I mean, it doesn't happen again, because those are just of the moment.
Yes.
And I'm so often told also that the Q&A at the Woodstock Film Festival are among the best, because the audience is engaged and interested and fairly sophisticated. So they ask good questions, and the filmmakers are very, they love answering those questions and get deeply into the answers. So it's really a great experience. And also, so often I see after screening, the audience spills out, the filmmakers come out, and the conversation continues on the street. Yes. So it's really, really quite wonderful.
Yes, it is a highlight.
I also hear, and I hear so often also when people are waiting in line to see a movie, so they talk to each other. What did you see? What did you like? And they start having those conversations about other films, and it's just such a wonderful exchange between people, and really it isn't, there's nothing like it as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely not. It's quite it's quite a process figuring out which films to see. I mean, it takes me an afternoon to do it, because you have to figure out what films you're going to see, but also the timing to get to the next film. It's really quite a process. It's exciting and it's fun. And I want to say one time, you'll know the year, a few years back, Bearsville Theater, and it stuck with me and it sticks with me ever since. There was a film about the Boston Marathon.
The filmmakers are back. Those filmmakers are back.
Wow.
Film.
Really? Oh, and they had they weren't actors there. This was a documentary. This wasn't a big Hollywood eyes thing. There was no actors. There were the real people, and there were people there that were amputees, and it was as powerful as anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's they're very good filmmaker, Annie and Ricky, and they have a film at the festival, and I'm just trying now to remind myself what the title of the film is, but I will get back to it.
Right.
Once I remember it.
Right. Yeah, with all the films, it's kind of hard to remember them all. I also want to congratulate you, Meira, that the Woodstock Film Festival is now accredited by the Academy Awards.
Yes, that's very, very cool. I think I'm still trying to remember. I apologize. the title of the film. It will come to me. I will interrupt you in the middle of the conversation and say, wait, that's the title of the film, because they are great filmmakers, and you should go see their new film.
Yeah. And you have online, your website is so informative, woodstockfilmfestival.
My so-called high school rank.
Wow.
I knew all the words. I wasn't sure that it was.
Tell us again.
My so-called high school rank. The original title was just Ranked, but then they changed it to my so-called high school rank, and it's really a fantastic film.
Wonderful.
And it's playing twice at the festival. So, and they will be, and like what they've done before with the Boston Marathon movie, the subject of the film will be there as well. That's how they do. That's how those filmmakers do things. They come with their subjects, and the conversation afterwards is deep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a work. This is a world premiere of the film also. So.
Wow, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No. Thank you. Very powerful. I went to Woodstock last week to see music, and I stopped by your office to pick up your wonderful brochure. And I want to tell you that I'm impressed with the poster art by your artist, Joan Snyder.
Yeah, she is an amazing and very accomplished artist. So we're fortunate that she allowed us to use this piece of art, and which I love. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a local, like part-time local, Brooklyn and Woodstock, and very accomplished. Art. Works in museums all over the world and so forth. So it's we're lucky to have her.
And it's a beautiful program. I know you have T-shirts printed as well. Your box office. Tell us when you're open there now, because it's getting so close to the festival. If people want to buy tickets in person.
We're open right now, Wednesday to Sunday, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Starting Wednesday of the festival, starting actually Monday of next week. It's going to be every day from Monday until Sunday, and I believe it's still going to be from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., but every day.
Perfect.
And the box office is right in the center of the village of Woodstock.
Yes, 13 Rock City Road. Yes, 13 Rock City Road. You can also buy tickets online, of course, at woodstockfilmfestival.org. Now, you've got 48 feature films. You've got 98 shorts. How do you pick them, Meira? It's quite a process.
It's a very, very long process.
When do you start? Like the day after the festival ends, or?
Not exactly, but fairly close. I mean, people start submitting basically in November, and the festival ends in beginning of October, and then like a month after, people start submitting. Submissions really pick up, I would say, March.
Mm-hmm.
And they end sometime in June. So we watch films, and we watch films for many months, and we have over 25 screeners who watch the movies for us as a preliminary set of eyes.
Wow.
And so it just takes a very long time, and also in addition to just going through all the submissions, and we have thousands of submissions.
I was just going to ask, how many?
Yeah, it's well over 2,000 submissions.
Wow.
And other than that, in addition, we go out to other film festivals and to distributors and directors and producers reps and sales agents and various people and we just really keep a close eye on what's out there. And after doing it for so long, I feel like we know a lot of the players.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of taking your time, paying attention, giving it a lot of thought, and slowly and methodically programming. It takes a long time.
Yeah, I bet it does. It's it must be quite a task, without a doubt. You offer feature films. Talk to me about shorts.
Yeah.
What are shorts? I know what they mean, but tell the audience what shorts are.
Well, if you judge by the Academy of Motion Picture and Television, a short film is anything from 1 minute to 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, it becomes a full-length film. And all types of filmmakers make shorts. Sometimes those who also make long feature films also make a short film. Sometimes actors make shorts. Sometimes students make shorts. More often than not, students begin with making a short film. They do it in university, or they do it once they're just starting out as a filmmaker. And sometimes all they do is shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Shorts is just a great way of telling a story, and it's definitely the risks are much lower because usually the budget is much lower, and often there's no studio or financiers who are just sitting over your shoulders all the time and telling you what to do and making sure you're doing things right or according to what they want you to do. So there's also a lot of freedom in making a short. And then, of course, we also have an animation program, and animators, so many incredibly talented animators who do just, 2 minutes, 3 minutes short films that can be brilliant. Just blow your mind.
Yeah.
So actually this year we have, I think, 11 incredible short animations that we are showing, and each one of them is just a total gem.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Very, very other.
Now tell me what Hudsy is.
Hudsy is a local new. It's an app that is kind of like the equivalent of Netflix for the Hudson Valley.
Oh, great!
And it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the Woodstock Film Festival. We're just giving them a showcase.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a new organization and a new app, and they celebrate short films made in the Hudson Valley, and they themselves, also the people who run it, they're also filmmakers, and they make films themselves. So they're new, and we just want to support them, so we're giving them a showcase, and they have selected 3 films that have not been seen yet by their filmmakers to showcase at the festival.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That's so good of you to do, and it sounds like a very exciting app and to check it out. Also, Woodstock Film Festival happens for 5 days every year, but really you also have quite a few year-round programs, which are also noted in your beautiful color brochure here. So you guys are busy all year long, just not with the films, but with doing things. Name some of the things that you do as the festival for the community and in the community.
Well, I love all of our educational initiatives. One of my favorites is a youth film lab, and that is a free program for area teenagers. It started out as 3 weeks summer intensive workshop for area teenagers, up to 15 teenagers working under the guidance of 3 instructors and 3 teachers' assistants and about 8 or so professional mentors as they would make films, short films from beginning to end during those 3 weeks. And then we would show those films at the festival. And it grew into a year-round initiative. So now, last year we have started, I believe it was in January. We couldn't start in September. We started in January. And worked with the teens throughout the academic year, meeting with them a couple of times each month and just teaching them about filmmaking. And then in the summer, it grew again into those 3 weeks intensive where the teenagers made incredible films, I have to say, that we are showing at this year's festival.
Wow.
As part of the teen program. So, and that initiative, I have to tell, and I can tell you, so many of those kids, those teens who started with us 5 years ago, are now in college studying film, movies. They're going to be working in the business. They're pretty soon going to be hiring me for something because they're going to be so good, so impressed with them. So that's really exciting, and we've been doing that every year now for 5 years, and going strong.
Yes, good for you.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm so happy with it, and it's a very feel good kind of thing also because it's an incredible opportunity for them.
Right.
And we have, and so many of the parents would come to us afterwards and, thanking them us, and they're now they're going to film school and they're going to be filmmakers, and it's not something that they've really thought of before.
Right.
Right. And the other initiative that I really love is the Filmmakers Residency Incubator, which is a month-long program for four emerging filmmakers from all over the country who are developing projects that have to do with social justice. And it can be environmental, or it can be socio-political, or it can be about food security, those kind of areas, and both documentaries and narratives, and we house them, and we feed them, and we bring them teachers and artistic director and mentors, and throughout the whole process, and we just really closely help them develop their projects. Right. And not just their films, but themselves as artists. And then we bring them back to the festival. And this year they're coming back, and we're doing actually a showcase with the residents from this past spring, and that's going to happen on Sunday. At the last thing at the festival, basically. And they will not only talk about what they're doing now, but they'll show us what they're doing, because they all have been shooting since the residency, and they will show, they've been shooting the films that they have been workshopping, developing during the residency. They start shooting them. They start getting in production. So they're going to show us clips of what they are working on now, which is going to be very exciting.
So exciting.
We have developed those projects. So,
yeah, absolutely. I know the backbone of your organization is what you see all over, because you have so many theaters and venues that you have to man during this time of the festival. Tell me about volunteers.
You're absolutely right. The volunteers are the backbone. Ever since day one, ever since 2000, we have relied so much on volunteers. And they are indeed, there wouldn't be a film festival without them. We use about 200 volunteers.
Wow.
And they come from all over the area, by and large. And they help with the venues, they help with press, they help with art department, with tech, with guest relations, with box office, with transportation, with every aspect of the festival, basically. And they're wonderful, and we so appreciate them. And we have volunteer each year. We have wonderful volunteer coordinator who works for months to recruit those volunteers, to gather them, and then to get them, put them to work.
Right.
And in the various areas. And it's quite the process all on its own.
Yes.
And without them, it wouldn't be a festival.
Absolutely. It must be some undertaking trying to figure all that out. 200 volunteers. That's amazing. The other thing that I thoroughly enjoy, part of the festival, are your panels.
I love the panels. You're absolutely right. It's again, every year we do panels, and we bring some of the most accomplished members of the industry to talk about what they do, whether it's actors or directors or producers or distributors or editors or what have you. And this year is no exception. We are also this year shining a light on most of the honorees at the festival. So we have a special conversation with Ethan Hawke. We have a special conversation with Deborah Granick, who is a fantastic director and receiving our Fiercely Independent Award this year. A conversation with Ariana Bocco, who is the president of IFC Films, an incredibly accomplished member of the film industry and a huge supporter of independent cinema. And we have a panel of directors on directing, and we have some of the most accomplished directors, both from the narrative side and the documentary side, talking about their work. And one of the directors is Rodrigo Garcia, who has the film Raymond and Ray at the festival, starring Ethan Hawke and Ian McGregor. Rodrigo Garcia is also the son of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He's a great writer, but of course he does have that lineage in him, and a great director. Yeah. So he's one of the directors who will be on that panel. Oh. There are three others. All of them are great in their own way. And we have a wonderful Women in Film panel, and it's featuring, among others, actress Karen Allen, who you may remember from, she's an incredibly accomplished actress, but she was Indiana Jones sidekick at Indiana Jones and the one of those. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh wow. That's exciting.
He's the one who kept on calling him Indy. It's been a while since I've seen this film.
Right.
But she's great. Karen Allen is fantastic, and so she's one of the few great women on that panel. And then, like I said, we have the Residency panel, which I really love, and that's going to round up the series of panels. We have 6 panels at the festival this year.
So exciting. So, I've gone to a few of them. Last year with Kelsey Grammer, he was such a emotional guy. He cried at everything in a sweet way, and it's such an up close and personal time that you get to spend with people. I also please want to note that these things sell out. So if you're thinking about going to something, there's things that are already sold out. Get your tickets very soon, because if you wait till the last minute, you might be very disappointed that things are not available. Is that correct?
It's very correct, but I do want to add one more thing. While I highly encourage people to get tickets ahead of time, if there's something that you really want to see and it's sold out, keep in mind that everything also has a standby line.
Got it.
There are always ghost seats left for certain things. So if you really want to see something, just get to the venue at least 30 minutes before start times. Get in the standby line, and there is a good chance that you'll be able to get in. But having said that, again, get your tickets now. It's such a good idea to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
And unless you want to get a full festival pass, in which case you can just waltz right in, not have to plan, not have to think about it. The festival is your oyster. You can go into everything.
Go and do everything. And again, the website, woodstockfilmfestival.org. I'd also like to mention, because we are talking about Woodstock, which is synonymous with music, and you've got some great musical performances happening also, starting at Levon Helm Studios with Clem Snide and Scott Avett of the Avett Brothers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's very exciting. Levon Helm Studios, of course, is an iconic venue, and and the performance is going to happen at the heels of a screening called The Ballad of Clem's Night, which is basically the story of this musician and also the making of the record that he has made with Scott Avett, who produced the record, and Scott Avett is also all over the film. And so the two of them will then perform a whole set right after the screening of the film, right there at Levon Helm Studios. So it's going to be a very special event for
absolutely. And listeners, this is happening next Thursday, September 29th at 9 p.m. at Levon Helm Studios. And again, you can check out WoodstockFilmFestival.org. The other event, also locals, Jay Unger, Molly Mason at the Woodstock Playhouse on Saturday, October 1st.
I'm so happy about that. So we are doing a 30-year anniversary of Brothers Keeper by Joe Berlinger and the late Bruce Sinofsky. It's an incredible film, incredible documentary. And when I decided to do that, and I looked it up deeper, I saw that the people who wrote the music for the film are the local musical celebrities, Molly Mason and Jay Unger.
Yeah.
So I asked Joe Berlinger, the director, if it was okay for me to reach out to them and see if they can perform. And he said, sure. So I did, and they were very happy to do that. And so, and they're so great.
Yes.
And so they'll be there, and they'll perform songs that they wrote for the film.
Right.
So,
right. That's so exciting. So exciting. The other fun part about being an audience member at the Woodstock Film Festival is after each film, like when you walk into the film, of course, you get your popcorn, and then you also get a little ticket, and you get to vote how much you like that film. And the vote really does mean something because the festival holds what's called the Maverick of Awards. Tell us about how you get that little piece of paper and then the Maverick Awards, please.
Well, the ballots, the little piece of paper is a ballot that you handed when you come in. And as you exit, you just tear it in the right place. I explain it to you and hand it to the person at the door, and we tabulate everything. And then at the end of the festival, we give also the audience award. So we give the audience award in Best Feature Narrative and Best Feature Documentary. And those are really, really important for the filmmakers. So it's because to win an audience award at a respected film festival, it's just it's very helpful for their own film and their own career.
Yeah.
So we definitely want everyone attending the films to also fill out the ballot and hand it to the volunteers.
Voting is important no matter if it's an election for a politician or even in something like this. Vote, 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 right, Meira?
Don't forget to vote. Absolutely. Very, very
100%. Now, the Maverick Awards this year are taking place October 1st, which is a Saturday at the beautiful Ulster Performing Arts Center, also known as UPAC, at 9 p.m. Is that open for the public to attend?
Totally. It's this is going to be a great event. And UPAC is huge. It's 1,500 seats. It's only $25 a person to attend, and we are presenting all these honorary awards. You know, we're presenting an award to Aquafina, who is so fabulous.
Oh, she
and
is.
To Ethan Hawke and Amanda Seyfried, who just won an Emmy for The Dropout, is going to present the awards to Ethan Hawke. And Deborah Granick is going to receive an honorary award from Vera Farmiga. So it's going to be, and Ariana Bocco is receiving an award. And then we're giving all these awards for all the various films that are showing at the festival. And there are a lot of competitive awards. And there's a great house band. So there's also a lot of music. And it's just a really fun event. And it's all happening Saturday night, as you said, October 1st at UPAC. And again, it's only $25, which I'm hoping is accessible to most people.
Right. Yep.
And it's really, really, it's going to be a really great evening.
Now, without putting you on the spot, because there's 49 films and 98 shorts, and I know they're all special. I know they're all special.
No.
Are there some? Is there, like, if you had to just immediately think, like, what do you want to see? I heard you do an interview with Joe Donahue, and you were saying something about the David Strathairn opening night at the Playhouse.
I love David Strathairn. He's a brilliant actor and such a wonderful human being. You know, he won Academy Awards for Good Night and Good Luck, and he's an incredibly accomplished actor. So he is coming Wednesday evening to the festival. This is the film that we're showing is a basically one man show. It's called Remember This. And David is basically telling us the story of his character, a survivor of the Holocaust, and how he deals with the survival, and how he does an amazing job. It's a really great film. Everybody from the film is going to be there. I mean, wow. David is going to be the director, the producer. It's just it's the whole crew is coming up for this, and it's definitely worth it to attend.
Yeah, it sounds really powerful, really powerful. I know you also have Judd Harris, right, in a film on a Sunday night, I believe.
Judd Harris, yes, that's basically the very last film at the festival, and it's a late edition. The film is called I, Mordecai. And it's a story based on the director's father, and it, again, happened to be a Jewish story of just an elderly man in Florida who's just struggling with contemporary life and contemporary technology. It's very funny, and and Judd Hirsch is just. I guess he's hilarious in that film. And Carol Kane is his wife, and she is just as hilarious, if not more. And Judd Hirsch is coming, as well as the director, and as well as the person who's Judd Hirsch's character is based on, the director's father. So they're all going to be there.
Wow.
The Q&A, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Oh my gosh, it sounds amazing. Now, we all know we have a thriving, a lot of films being made here in the Hudson Valley, and there's quite a few that were shot here in the Hudson Valley, right, that you are having at your festival.
Yes, there are a number of them, and let's see, which one would I like to bring up? I guess Stay Awake is one film that I would love to point out. It was shot right here in the Kingston Hudson Valley area, and it's about two siblings, and dealing with their very obese and addicted mother, who is constantly trying to get rid of her addiction, and they're constantly trying to deal with that while they're incredibly supportive and of her and loving towards her, but they're also trying to sort of get away from under sort of the spell of her dependency. Dependency on the drugs and dependency on them. So it's really a three character story. Very, very, very well done. And of course the director and the producers and everybody are going to be there. And it's great. I love that song.
Oh my gosh. So you're going to have to catch up on sleep now, and then you will have none for 5 days, and then you must go into hibernation for a little bit afterwards on Monday, I would think, after the film festival. No?
Monday after the festival is a very good day.
Meira, I am in awe of all that you have done for the community of the Hudson Valley with this film festival. Brava to you. 23 years. That's a lot of work. And every year it just gets better and better. And I am just, as a fan of the festival, a movie goer, I am just, again, it really is one of my favorite events of the whole year that I know that is coming up. I always mark my calendar out as soon as you announce the dates. And then it's always exciting once you announce the lineup of films, which is usually like in September. And it's just a really wonderful thing that you've built here. And thank you for it, because it makes the community that much better, and for everything that you've done for the film industry, for the locals here, all these programmings that you've done for the youth and everything else. So keep doing what you're doing, please. We need more of this, and we need more of it. We just really do. I just thank you so much for everything. And WoodstockFilmFestival.org. Trust me, folks. Get out there, go see a film or 2 or 3, or like me, 14, and just go have some fun, because there's nothing else like it. And to be able to just drive around the Hudson Valley, and then you can go out to eat at these wonderful restaurants that they have around. And, if you're not from the area, I'm guessing hotels are probably pretty close to booked up, but check, and it's just a wonderful event. So Meira Blaustein, thank you for bringing this to us and continuing for a very long time to come. I hope you'll come back on the show next year and we can do this all over again.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having me, and I know I'll see you at the movies.
Yes, you will see me at the movies. I cannot wait, and thank you for everything. I'll see you soon, and get some rest, because you've got a busy week ahead.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Meira. Bye-bye. Bye. 91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. How much fun was that? If you tuned in a little bit too late, I'll be uploading the interview we just had with Meira Blaustein from the Woodstock Film Festival this evening on the LocalMotion channel on the YouTube as well as Facebook page. So, you know what? I am going to play a short track right now by Larry and Teresa, because I accidentally had to cut them off, and then we'll be back with musical happenings, and we'll have Dr. J on at the top of the hour. Let's take a listen to some music by Larry Campbell and Teresa Williams. 91.3 WVKR.
If I had my way, if I had my way, yeah. If I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down. Delilah was a woman, she was fine and fair. She had good looks and coal black hair. Delilah, she gained old Samson's mind. At first he saw the woman as a Philistine. Delilah, she climbed up on Samson's knee, said, tell me where your strength lies, if you please. She spoke so kind, she talked so fair. Samson said, Delilah, you cut off my hair. You can shave my head as clean as your hand, and my strength will become as any other man. Oh, if I had my way, yeah. If I had my way, if I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down. You read about Samson all from his birth. He was the strongest man that ever lived on earth. One day while Samson was walking along, he looked down on the ground and saw no jawbone. Stretched out his arm If I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down, yeah. Now Samson and this lion, they got an attack. Samson, he climbed up on the lion's back. Now you read about this lion killed a man with his paws, but Samson got his hands around the lion's jaws, and he ripped that beast, Lord knows he killed him dead. And the beast made honey in the lion's head. Woo! If I had my way, yeah. If I had my way. If I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, dear Lord, I would tear this old building down.
Oh, yeah. 91.3 WVKR. Larry Campbell and the powerful voice of his bride, Teresa Williams, from the soundtrack from It Was the Music. We just heard Samson and Delilah. And Larry and Teresa will be my guests here in 2 weeks, and I just cannot wait. They were my first guests, and I'll never forget it. And the music I use as introduction music is from Larry Campbell, and huge supporter, and I will never, ever forget their support and being my first guests on the show. They come back usually once or twice a year, and I'm lucky enough to have them back in 2 weeks. Next week, my guest will be Carl Gutowski from the Howland Chamber Music Circle. In 2 weeks, Larry and Teresa, also bassist Jeff Hill, will be joining us in October, as well as Stephen Clare. We've got a great fall lineup on LocalMotion. Now it's time for musical happenings. So I talk about venues in and around the Hudson Valley in the hopes that you go support some live local music. Alphabetical order. Let's start with the Bardavon. Bardavon and UPAC. Info, bardavon.org. This Friday, September 23, Little Feat at UPAC. October 13, Jeff Beck at UPAC. Barnstock in Woodstock, also barnstockny.com. Bill Ware Trio on October 8th. Bearsville Theater in Woodstock, also at bearsvilletheater.com. October 11, Stickmen. October 14, Reelin' in the Years, Steely Dan Tribute. Caramore in Katona, info at caramore.org. September 30, Melissa Aldana Quartet. City Winery in Hudson Valley in Montgomery, New York. Info at citywinery.com/Hudson Valley. September 25, Johnny Swim. Colony in Woodstock and colonywoodstock.com. Tonight, Brian Mitchell and Friends. Thursday, Eric Squindo presents the songs of Harry Nilsson. Friday, Joan Shelley. Saturday closed for a private event, but the beer garden is open with Oktoberfest music by Jay Collins. Sunday, Matthew O'Neill and Friends. Every Monday is an open mic at Colony, and the Colony Beer Garden is open. Check the website for details. Dogwood in Beacon and at dogwoodbeacon.com. Thursday, Tough Old Bird. Friday, Liz Kelly. Saturday, Top Bottom, New Expressions, and Preston Spurlock. At the Falcon in Marlborough and live at thefalcon.com. Tonight, Connor Kennedy and One Star. Thursday, Deadgrass and Friends. Friday, The Dark Horses, concert for George Harrison. Saturday, James Maddock and Brian Mitchell. Sunday, Camille Thurman. Fisher Center at Bard College and fishercenter.bard.edu. October 1st and 2nd, Dvorak 7th and the Czech Symphonic Tradition with the Orchestra Now. Jazz Forum in Tarrytown, and jazzforumarts.org. Friday and Saturday, September 23 and 24, 2 shows each night, featuring Aaron Goldberg, Reuben Rogers, and Eric Harland. Levon Helm Studios in Woodstock and levonhelm.com. Tonight, The Suffers. September 29, Clem Snide and Scott Avis as part of the Woodstock Film Festival. October 1, Sean Colvin. The Stissing Center in Pine Plains and stissingcenter.org. October 1, Wolf Tones. Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown, also at tarrytownmusichall.org. September 23rd, Kathleen Edwards. September 24th, Al DiMiola. Town Crier in Beacon and towncrier.com. Every Thursday is an open mic. Friday on the Salon Stage, Russell St. George. On the main stage Friday, Soul Purpose. Saturday on the Salon Stage at Town Crier, Pipes and Peanut Butter. Saturday on the main stage, Best of the 70s. Sunday evening on the Salon Stage, Chris Brown and Peter Kalo. As we just talked about for the whole hour, the 23rd Annual Woodstock Film Festival, September 28th through October 2nd. Info and tickets at woodstockfilmfestival.org. Also, the 12th Annual O Positive Festival in Kingston, October 7th through 9th. Info at opositivefestival.org. And that about does it. That about does it for musical happenings right now. Thank you again to today's guests, Meira Blaustein from Woodstock Film Festival. Info and tickets, woodstockfilmfestival.org. It begins next Wednesday and runs through October 2nd. And so much fun. If you like films, oh my gosh, so much fun. There's something for everybody there. Check out the website. Tickets available now. And if you missed part of that interview and you'd like to hear